Hello guys, welcome to Solving Solutions on the brand channel where I get solutions to all your solving problems. It's nice having you in class again today. How have you been? On today's tutorial, we are going to look at multi-ring buffer in ArcGIS Pro. So it's actually a tool to generate multiple concentric buffer zones around one or more input feature. Just like we have a line here, yours can be a point or a polygon. Right, good. So instead of just creating a single buffer zone, which you are going to see, it creates multiple buffer zones at specified intervals. Right, good. So usually resulting to a ring. So let's search for buffer. It's actually a variant of buffer. So we have good multi-ring buffer. So we are going to use the line as the input. Then this will be the output feature class. Now this is where you declare the distance, the list of buffer distances. So let's go with 10. Then we add another one. Let's make this 30. We add maybe 2 more. Let's make this maybe 70, and then maybe let's just terminate at 100. Right, good. So these are the buffer distances that the multi-ring buffer would use to create the buffer zones. The distance unit, you can use the information to read what it's all about. Then if you use the drop down, you are going to see different options. Right, good. So different units. So let's use meters. Now one thing to notice that it's already catered for you. However, it's always better when you are working with this buffer tool, your data should be in a projected CRS. Right, good, so that the unit can be linear. Then we come to the buffer distance field name. You can decide to leave it as distance, or maybe you call it buffer distance, or whatever you want to call it as the case may be. Then the dissolve option, if you use the information here, non-overlapping rings, buffer will dissolve to resemble ring around the input feature. So by the time you read it through, we are going to do it twice with using the non-overlapping rings and the second option of using overlapping disks. Right, good. So now let's see how it goes. So the method, when you use the information, you will see that for planner, buffer will be created using the Euclidean buffer method. This is the default when the input has a projected coordinate system. Our input has a projected coordinate system. For the geodesic, the buffers will be generated using the shape preserving geodesic buffer method. Right, good. So this is the default input when the input has a geographic coordinate system. As is a projected, so we are going to change it back to the planner. Right, good. So you know the reason why you have to use which of the methods. So now let's click on run. Good. So the first output is out. Let's zoom that layer. Let's also open the attribute table to see the different buffer zones. Right, so if you click on the first one, that's actually the 10-meter buffer zones. If you come to the second, that's the 30-meter zones. You come to the third, that's the 70, and then the last one, which is the outermost, that's the 100. Right, good. So now this gives you the non-overlapping, because this is the dissolving option to make it a bit more presentable. Right, good, around this our line feature. So let's make that 2B, and then we change this to overlapping, and then let's run. Good. Now let's take this out. If you look closely, you are going to see that the output, because of the dissolve option we have used, all the buffer zones are not dissolved, they are individual, they are separate on their own. So if we open the attribute table, you find out that you have more fields and values in the attribute table because they are all independent, they are all separate. So let's open the attribute table. You see now that we have about 16. Right, good, unlike the 4 we had, because each of the buffer distance is multiplied or is duplicated about 4 times. Right, good. So we have shown you using ArcGIS Pro how to carry out multi-ring buffer, and then which of the options is better for presenting your output. Is it using the overlapping or the second option of non-overlapping? Right, good. So thanks for coming to class. We hope we have provided solution to this particular solving problem. We'll see you with another interesting tutorial. Until then, keep staying safe and have a fantastic time. Bye.